morning, Ramon. How are you today?
Gone.
You're looking
Well,
good.
I'm not wearing the
Looking
right
good.
shade of orange. I need to go to the paint store.
You probably got a Sherwin right down the street, I'm sure.
I'm wearing Tennessee because of last week. And I didn't know we didn't color coordinate this.
No,
We
this is
actually
important.
saw already each other for a few seconds, so we laughed. But I mean,
If we combine this and Kobe Bryant, we would probably be that color.
well, I just felt like this is what I wore last night. I'm still going.
I mean, it's hard when you haven't been to sleep yet. Writing columns, going to see games, preparing for the show. It's like
and I
it
was
never
watching
stops.
games. Oh yeah, I was at a game. I was watching games. I was trying to. Padres lost, but that's okay. We'll talk about baseball when we get started. We'll talk about the car. We've got a lot of action to cover. We don't want to keep everybody waiting. We'll give them a few minutes to get here into the chat. Hello to everyone. Thank you for commenting already.
Yes, please do.
With us. So good to have you on a big day. We got so many games. It's gonna be ridiculous. I don't know. Crush is here. All right. And look, there you go. Last football game of the season. I went to one of those perpetual trophy games last night where one team got the city mayor's trophy back from the other team. A kid had 41 carries. I was
41. Oh my
41 God. Carries the kid had. An airplane boop is here. Blake is here as well. You guys are on the part of the morning steam team as far as I'm concerned. So thanks a lot. Let's quickly head on over to our website, Mindy, because we got to get started. But I want to cover. I don't mean to rush it just because I went 7-2 and because I'm on.
We don't really want to rush through that, right? Is what you're saying?
No, we have to because we have so many games. I don't want to make it seem like I'm rushing to get to the website to show our, numbers off and our packages that we have available for today because I'm on a bit of a heater right now.
Ramon was on fire. Look at that, 6:05. That was awesome.
A little bit on fire. Tony said on the shows last night. Nine NHL winners in a row, including the Kraken last night. I sent you the Kraken. Let's get Kraken video.
That's right, you did. And then I was like, but it was late here, so I didn't open it because I didn't
want to wake anybody up.
Yes, exactly.
If anybody knows that song from like the 70s, late 70s, early 80s soul song. Plus 225 winner there. And I swept the card again in the NHL. So
yeah.
And then there's our morning steam team as well over the last 7 days. We can take a look, Mindy, at the premium picks for today. I guess let's just ask what you got going because we've got to get rolling with our previews. But
yes, I have a ton of college football today. I got 2 plays in Major League Baseball, 3 plays in the NHL, and 3 plays in the NBA today. So I put out some best bets in there. I put out about 4 3-packs in there. Did put 1 7-pack out for those mid-afternoon games. I'm just like gonna crush that part of the slate. Should be a pretty good, exciting day. I was just again 500 here for the last couple days, so ready for a big weekend.
Any good wins last night or bad beats?
Well, again, we kind of talked about we were both on the Pacers game. I had them just on the money line. I think you had them -2. They got started off to that bad, they lost the first quarter by, 10, 15 or so. And so really had to scrap their way back. And if it wasn't for a couple of bad timing, I think shooting threes when they probably could have got it easy, play at the net. We probably would have got that one. So I thought that one was kind of a bad beat. And then we were on the opposite sides there of the Red Wings and the Blackhawks. I had the Red Wings. They were covering all the way till 9 minutes left in the third period. And then you got me in overtime, Ramon. Nice work out of you. You don't you're not like the best, NHL handicapper for no reason.
I'm on a real good roll. They're 9 in a row, so we'll see because today's card is large, but there's so many games. You had to pay attention to the college football card. That's really we've been covering all week. So go to Tony's Picks YouTube channel if you want to get any of the other previews. We're going to start with the previews for today's games that start mid to late afternoon when we get there. But we got other sports to talk about as well. I just want to mention, Minnie, before we get started, though, you see I have a 3-pack in the UFC.
Oh, that's right.
It goes. You know what? I think it starts in like 45 minutes, if I'm not mistaken.
That would be a fun way to start off your morning, folks, to get that.
Yeah, we'll see. Maybe I want to get the time right. I don't. If anybody wants to pick up that 3-pack, I'd really like it and appreciate it. UFC is from Abu Dhabi, so it's about to get started here momentarily. 7:35, so an hour and 20 minutes. So that's fine. And they're the packages that I have as well. And Mindy, don't forget the morning steam team.
That's right. Don't forget about us.
What do we have so far? We have some packages loaded up.
Yeah, so we mostly just have college football. I think we have 2 in there right now. That was because we had a couple outliers that are in the system but not packaged yet, because they'll probably go with this next grouping of games. We kind of like to put them around, time order, that sort of thing. So yeah, we're in the system. We're locked and loaded, just haven't been packaged. So you could see those up there as individual plays, but not yet as, a grouping of plays for the morning steam yet. But I'm sure we're going to come up with lots of plays today, probably in NBA, probably in NHL. And we got a lot out there already for college football. So it should be, again, another fun one. And we're breaking the bank. Look at it.
Yeah, some good numbers right there in those sports, NBA, NFL, NHL, MLB, last 7 days. I mean, you can't do it any better than that. Those are pretty much it.
You're right.
College football, maybe we can pick it up today in our college football. I think we will. All right, better get started.
All right.
Thanks to everybody for joining us in the chat. Remember, if you have any comments on the particular game, always mention the team if you can.
Yeah, because otherwise, if you're like, I like the over, we're not sure which game you're talking about. We want to make sure that we have all your comments, hopefully in the game that we're covering. I know it's hard sometimes if you get a phone call and it pauses the video, but yeah, let us know.
Yeah, and we'll be going pretty fast today. I don't know. My hockey analysis might be, I'm 9-0. Here's my pick. Okay.
Right.
So, okay, let's get it going. And we got a lot of games to cover, and we'll start with Major League Baseball, because that's, still, it's college football Saturday, no doubt about it. But let's start with the marquee situation going on. They're going to resume action today in New York with Houston and Javier, Yankees and Cole in the series, Mindy, and this one. Houston looks very, very good so far. Will the situation change now in New York?
Yeah, I mean, Javier, he's been pretty dominant as of late, in his last 5 appearances. He's had 2 starts, here versus the Yankees. He was 1-0 with a, 0.075 ERA. I mean, like hardly anything. And then we have that Yankees team that keeps going lower and lower. They started out at a 0.177. Now they're down to 0.138. In 2 games versus the Astros. They've struck out 30 times as well. That's kind of been, some of the big part of a lot of the analysis. And then Cole just been lights out. He's 0-1 though versus these Astros with a 1.29 ERA. If we also take a look on the Houston side, Altuve just has not been able to do much. And he's key. He needs to get on base and have his folks send him in. I like the under in this one.
I'm with you on that. I like the under as well. I think Cole brings it today. Let's start it off with a consensus play. I think Cole brings it today. Worried about Altuve is obviously he's going up there with a hack first attitude. He's not able to even, and here comes Airplane Boop agreeing with us.
Yeah.
So we might as well roll with it. I like it to go under today, Houston and the Yankees. It's under 7, under 25 there. I don't even mind it taking a even money at 6.5 or somewhere around there. But we're going to take it at 7 under 25, I think, here, Mindy.
All right, sounds good.
All right, consensus. We'll take it whatever's in the whatever when we enter it in our consensus play. But right now we're giving it out here on the air as our free consensus play under in Houston and Yankees game 3. All right, Mindy. Well, I was like I said, I was out at high school ball, and I was watching the game on my phone while watching a football game, and but it just felt to me like the Padres weren't going to do it, even though they had all those opportunities, and then the bizarre ending to the game. So Philadelphia, what can you say, Mindy? The teams that win Game 3 in a 7-game series go on to win the series almost 70% of the time. So all of a sudden, the Padres do have to climb out of this one, somehow find a way to at least win one of these games of the next two. So Clevenger and Falter, you can see the total. Look how high it is because, well, now it's down to 8. I want to, I don't know if you're noticing that, but it's down to 8 flat. Maybe that's sharp action. What do you think? Because obviously, with these two pitchers, you're not seeing very many 8 totals here in the playoffs. But if anything, this is one of the shakier matchups.
Yeah, sure. And the Padres need to kind of break the cycle once they score, that they need to go ahead and be able to stop their opponent in that same inning. So it's like if you score 1, you put up a 0 in the bottom half of that. And they've just been kind of struggling there as of late with doing that. It seems like if you look at those line scores, Philadelphia or San Diego, they'll put up 1, Philadelphia will put up 1. There's nothing where they hold their opponent down once they score. And to me, that kind of seems like, I don't know if that's a mental issue or not, that it keeps happening over and over and over again. But again, those Padres had plenty of opportunities, and I think they're going to get that again today. I think this one is going to be lights out high score myself. Clevenger versus Falter. Clevenger 7-7, 4.33 ERA. He's been struggling down the stretch. He did throw, though, 5 innings of one-hit baseball versus Philly, his one outing, but, has kind of struggled the rest of the year. And then you have, Falter that really only pitched in relief, but he did give up 3 earned runs in 1.2 innings versus the Padres. Really doesn't have any postseason experience. I think the Padres are, I think they're going to do everything they can to scrap through this game. I expect it to be a high scorer. I'm going to go over that total.
All right. Yeah, the move is what worries me. And otherwise, I might tell you on that and give us a consensus. But to me, that worries me. It obviously was 8.5, a little bit shaded to the under, and it's definitely 8 now. So that's the type of movement that always kind of gets me off of a game like this. I said, like when I introed the game, we're looking at 2 pitchers that, if you had to pick up all the pitching matchups probably out of both these series, this is probably the one you'd say, hey, maybe we should go over here because Clevenger looks like a nervous wreck out there. Falter's young and doesn't have this type of big game experience. Not many of them do in this. Really, this is a big moment for everybody. So I'm going to go with the Philadelphia Phillies.
Are you going to be okay, Ramon?
Well, I hope no one's watching here from where any of my friends here in town.
Right.
All right, that's a look at Major League Baseball, and I'm not doing it just to
I know.
fight the Padres.
I know.
All right. Going to roll with college football now, Mindy. We're going to resume our coverage where we left off on Thursday. We'll just call it the odds here. And here we go. Sorry about that. With Hawaii and Colorado State. Well, we couldn't start off with a blockbuster anyway. That's all right. We're trying to cover them all here. We've got about 2 hours to do it. So, anyways, to get everybody caught up, these will be the games that start at 7 Eastern and 4 Pacific and 6 Central for Mindy. Colorado State in this one is a 6-point favorite, and the total is 46. This one opened about 5.5 and 47. So moved to Colorado State and the under so far.
But I think we're looking at 3 p.m. my time, right? So
I'm sorry.
Yeah. You and I think the opposite way.
Boy, what time? I don't even know what time it is right now. It says 6:24 a.m. Pacific, but I have no idea.
Yeah, it's one of those that Hawaii won their last game out against Nevada pretty good, 31-16. Colorado State lost to Utah State. Colorado State offense, not so great, I would say. Only 16.9% third down efficiency. Also, Hawaii
Weak
averages
offense.
329 yards per game as well. Hawaii's 4-1 against the spread the last 5 games. I'll take the hotter team right now. I'm going to go with Hawaii.
All righty. I think I'm going to agree with you in this one. Colorado State's offense is just so weak right now, right? And Colorado State also, they do have some question marks, I believe, at quarterback coming into this game. I believe the starter Melanie's questionable, or we're going to check his status really before. Well, maybe not. We're betting against him, so we probably prefer maybe if he's out of there. Who knows? Maybe the next guy will be great. But Hawaii had that good defensive game in their last outing against Nevada, and also showed a good running game, I thought, too. So I think Hawaii might be able. They're built. Look, I'm a Timmy Chang fan. I know everybody's making fun of Timmy Chang. I mean, anybody watch Timmy Chang when he was successful? Why couldn't this guy come up and be a? You're in Hawaii. It's going to be tough to build a program, but hey, we saw how Hawaii used to do it back in the day, and if anybody can do it, Timmy Chang can do it. Let's have a consensus play here. We'll take 6 points with Hawaii against that weak Colorado State offense.
Awesome.
All right. Airplane Boop throwing in the numbers. Arizona State and Stanford as we head to the Pac-10 here. Stanford now a 2-point favorite. It opened 3. Total 53. That's down 1.5 points from an opener of about 54.5.
Yeah, I mean, Arizona State beat up on Washington there the last game out. Stanford had that upset win versus Notre Dame. Arizona put up 397 yards of total offense against a not so good Washington defense there. Arizona's defense, though, they've given up at least 34 points in each of their last 3 games. I think Stanford's going to have enough gusto in this one to win at home.
Stanford's going to win this game for sure, Mindy.
Are we having another consensus play?
Yeah, we're going to start with another consensus play. We might have a ton of them tonight. I don't know.
Let's go. That'll be fun.
ASU 1-4 against the spread. Their last 5 on the road. Concerned that Stanford has covered just one of their last 10 conference games, but the fact that the last 5 meetings have gone under, I think a slower paced, low scoring game is going to favor Stanford in this one. I think that there will be problems for Arizona State scoring in this one. Stanford, no great shakes. I don't think they're going to necessarily knock the socks off, but now that we're laying under a field goal, that's good enough for me. Let's go with a consensus play here and take the Cardinal.
All right.
We're hot. Okay.
Let's do it.
Hey. Vanderbilt and Missouri. Missouri in this one favored by 14, total 49.5. Missouri opened as high as 15.5, and this total was considerably higher. It's dropping pretty significantly.
Yeah, and I'm kind of interested in this game, right? I mean, I just kind of expect a lot of offense. So I think in that sense, it's going to be a good game. Vandy, they're coming off a shutout to Georgia, which is expected. And then, of course, Missouri lost as well, 17-24. But Vanderbilt, they struggle on offense or on defense. They're 268th in the nation. The over is 6-2 though in Vanderbilt's last 8 games as well. I'm taking the over total here, 49.5.
No problem there. Mark is not agreeing necessarily with you, but I know exactly where you're going with that, especially because the number itself seemed to be so much higher, but man, it's really dropping. That concerns me, especially Missouri 1-5 to the under so far this year, and the series has gone under in 7 of the last 8 meetings. Vanderbilt's covered 4 straight on the road against sub 500 teams. My selection is going to be on Vanderbilt plus 14. All right. Can't agree on them all.
That is true.
When you would think about, we would it be 25% of the time we would agree if we flipped it, or was it 12.5% of the time? Because there's 4 different options. I don't care. Okay, Florida Atlantic and Utah. Well, it does seem like we agree about
Yeah,
12%.
it's a series of probability is what you're
Yeah,
talking about. But yeah,
right.
I mean, I haven't taken statistics since
12.5%, right?
college.
There's 4 different options, and we can select, right?
Yeah,
12.5.
because there's 2 options out of the 4 total outcomes.
Okay.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
We'll have
that's
to do some research on
advanced
that.
analytics right here. Good thing I've got you, Mindy. You are the best at this. Okay, FAU and Utah. Oh boy, well, the FAU not great, but look at this one. FAU 3.5, total 51. It's really been 3.5 the whole time, but this total has gone up. It was 47, a low of 47, all the way up to 51 here.
Geez, the battle of the 3 and 4 teams. FAU coming off that 17-14 win over Rice. Utah lost to La Tech 31-41. FAU scores about 29 a game, 435 yards of total offense compared to UTEP only scoring 22 points a game, averaging 364 yards per game. I look at FAU, they have a solid ground game, 45% on third down efficiency. I think FAU here, they're just going to control the ball here. I'm going to take Florida Atlantic plus the points.
Okay, yeah, well, I could see it. I mean, look, they are the road favorite here against UTEP, but UTEP, they might be able to win the game. FAU's won just 2 of their last 13 road games, so that's what kind of worries me about it. So I don't know. For me, I think the total's just gone a little bit too high. It's a free play
Yeah.
for me. At 47, I liked the over. At 51, I like the under. I mean, so you see where my window is.
Yeah.
Not real strong is never going to make a premium with me at this, but the teams are combined 4 and 10 to the under this year. So I'm going to go under as my free play. Mindy's got FAU laying the points. I've got under 51. Southern Mississippi and Texas State. And in this one, it is Southern Mississippi, a 2-point favorite now, and this total is 43. This one opened Texas State 1, so pretty stiff move to Southern Mississippi, and this total opened 45. So slight move to the under as well by a couple of points.
Yeah, so it's one of these that if I take a look at this in like say a 3-week window compared to a 5-week window, Southern Miss at this spread would cover this about 75% of the time. But when it comes to that 5-week window, they only cover this really about 50% of the time. So it's kind of more of a toss up here. And so a lot of these times when it's like that, I kind of go ahead and usually take the home field advantage with this. I like where Southern Miss, is going this season. They do have, more passing yards and such. And the teams are pretty comparable, but I'm going to go with the home team. I'll take Texas State +2 at home.
Yeah, I think I'm going to come in on Texas State with you on this. I like the fact that it's kind of shifted a little bit. They're now getting 2 points. I kind of wish it was getting a little bit more, actually, but let's go ahead and have a consensus play there. Gosh, I just expect a close game. I don't think the spread's going to go any higher, but
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be. I don't know if they can get to the 40s actually. Texas State 1-7 to the under off of a straight up loss. Southern Mississippi 0-5 to the under in their last 5 conference games, and Southern Mississippi 1-6 to the under in their last 7 off of a spread loss. So I like a low scoring game here, but I'm going to take Texas State with you. I think we should put that in our consensus.
All right, consensus play.
Arkansas State and UL Lafayette. I'm sorry, Louisiana. Forgive me.
I still go Lafayette.
Yeah, well,
I love the Ragin' Cajuns.
Just call the sports books if they don't like their name to be called. That's what all the sports books say, right? ULL, whatever. That's what I write. Yeah. ULL on my notes.
That's right.
And the ULL, Louisiana, they're -6.5, and the total is 51.5. That's up from 50.5, and that 6.5 has been pretty much the line all week.
Well, for me, all the trends on this one is going under 6-1. Arkansas State last 7 road games. Under is 5-1 in the last 6 meetings for both of these two here. Overall, I'm going to go under 51.5.
Okay, fair enough. I'm wishy-washy on. I'm wishy-washy on the total,
Thank
but
you.
on the side, I'm going to look. I think to ULL here. I know Arkansas State's been pretty solid so far with that 6-1 spread record, but they are just 2-6-1 their last 9 trips here to ULL. Right now, also ULL's covered 5 straight against sub 500s. So I'm going to take ULL and lay these points as my free play.
I like it.
All right. Fresno State and New Mexico. Anybody who's going on their rotation, just want to mention San Jose State and New Mexico State has been postponed. That tragic accident with one of the players. We'll discuss it too much, but that game's been postponed. So
Which one
um,
has been?
that was San Jose State and New
Oh,
Mexico State. I don't know.
okay. I was wondering why I didn't see that last night. Okay.
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 Now that let me just, I don't want to just brush this off. Okay. I want to say his name. San Jose's freshman running back Camden Wright
Okay.
was riding one of those scooters and was struck
Oh man.
and was killed. And since we're took a second, I do want to say his name. I just don't want to brush it off and say they're not playing the game if we got into a little bit here. So
Yeah.
thoughts with the McWright's family and all those teams and everyone watching from those areas as well. Sad there. They might not even make that one up. We'll see. But skip on to the next one, Mindy, is where
Okay.
we're going.
No, I didn't hear the news.
Yeah, no, it just broke
that
last
happened.
night.
Okay.
The accident happened in the morning, and then I think by afternoon they said, uh, I think the team had not even left for their flight. But
Okay.
yeah, I don't know if the team took the trip or not. All right, Fresno State and New Mexico here. New Mexico is a 9.5 point underdog. And boy, that one's really moving because it opened Fresno as high as 13. Big move here on New Mexico. Total down to 39.5. Open 43. Wow.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna head towards New Mexico's way. Also, Fresno, they outscored New Mexico by about 4 points, but they also give up about 4 more points on defense, per game. And if I take a look at New Mexico, their wins mostly come here at home, also. And Fresno State has not won a road game yet here this season. I'm gonna go with New Mexico. But yeah, last night I had them at -10.5. So that's really has moved.
Yeah, I mean, I imagine you could probably see some -10s, but because the 9.5 is juiced up to minus $1.15 or so. So you probably could get 10. You might have to, lay 120 or something, or 115. But whatever the case may be, well, we won't have to check in the back because it's not going to be necessarily a consensus. I think that line's moved a little bit too much. I'm probably not going to get involved because of that.
Yeah.
But for the same reason, I think the total has moved too much as well, down to 39.5 from that opener of 43. I'm actually going to go over
Oh, very
as
good.
my free play.
Cool.
Wouldn't have any premium on this game, I don't think, given those moves and where I was headed. Um, yeah, not gonna, just leave it some free plays there. All right, let's get into some football now. Mississippi State and Alabama. Good game here. Even though Alabama's 3 touchdown favorite, I'd say it's a good game. It's the SEC later game here. Total 61. This one open pretty much 21, and the total has gone down a little bit, open 62.
Yeah, this is like an interesting spot too. When a game like this has opened at -21. At that one there, it's like a 58% cover on, say, in Alabama. a minus 21. But in this game, if this one would get down to like say a minus 13, it's like a 13-0 cover by that home team. So I thought the analytics on this was pretty interesting, even though I know that spread is not going to go down. Like no one's going to be, on Mississippi State that much to bring that down. But I just thought it was interesting how much, that basically if we're looking at, 6 points, how much that would impact here this game. So, I mean, I like Alabama in this spot. They're 4-0 against the spread in their last 4 after a straight up loss, 17-6 against the spread their last 23 home games. I think Alabama is going to be ready here versus Mississippi State. I'm going to take Alabama.
Me too. Let's do it. Let's lay Alabama. I think they can win this game by more than 3 touchdowns. Mississippi State 1-6 against the spread. Their last 7 trips to Tuscaloosa. They haven't been scoring real well on the road of late. And I will mention this series 4-17-1 to the under in the last 22 meetings. Let's take Alabama though and lay 21 points as a consensus play.
4-17-1 to the under. Wow.
All right, Boise State and Air Force in this one. Air Force 1. This one's down to 1 right now. Only one of the moves I'm going to adjust. Everything else really has been kind of solid. But Air Force is down to 1. Total 46.5. And it opened. It opened as high as Air Force 4.5 and 51.5. So just seeing a huge move on Boise in the under.
That's crazy. But it's probably based off of, how Boise's been playing thus far, right? I mean, they struggled offensively initially, then coming back after it. But both teams are coming off pretty good wins. Boise State defeating Fresno State 40-20. Again, if Boise had lost that one, it would be, probably firing happening all over town. But yeah, Air Force, they blew out UNLV 42-7. They average a lot of offense, 33 points a game. Their run game's ranked 2nd in the nation. Boise, of course, is still scoring 27, and they've had at least 35 in both of their last games here at all. Overall, I'm going to take the over. Over is 11-5. Fresno State's last 16 games following that straight up win. I expect these strong offenses to overpower the defenses here.
Well, and you're getting the best of the number for sure. Whole 5 points so far of value, what I consider value, an opener of 51.5, now down to 46.5. Mindy taking that over. Boise has gone 1-7 their last 8 on the road under, but what you talked about, with Boise's improvement, they are had that big rushing game against San Diego State. It was the most yards that San Diego State had allowed on the ground in 5 years. Now, maybe their defense isn't as good as, but that's where San Diego State, all they have is defense. And also the news of Boise State adding Dirk Cutter as offensive coordinator is big news right now. I mean, a big name moving into play to take over at Boise State's offensive coordinator guy has been coached some pretty big programs. So that's a pretty significant move as well. So I think maybe that's why we're seeing that on Boise, that move on Boise State. But to me, it's just going to go too far. I can't buy it. I'm going to take Air Force in this one as a free play. I don't trust that move just yet. Let me see it. Let me see it, first. So that one, I don't know. That's a free play. All right. Texas A&M and South Carolina in this one. Texas A&M 3-point favorite. Total 44.5. A&M opened 4.5, and the total opened as high as 47. So move to South Carolina and under.
Geez, I just don't love this game. It's hard to decipher. Texas A&M lost its first game there to Alabama 20-24. South Carolina, won against Kentucky 24-14. South Carolina, its strength is the offense. They average 389 yards a game. Then you have A&M. They kind of struggle offensively at times, but other times they look really good. So again, they're a really hard team to try to figure out where it's going with them. But if I take a look at, some of these trends, South Carolina 4-0-1 against the spread their last 5 with A&M. I think I'm going to take South Carolina here at home. I like this home dog in this spot.
Yeah, you mentioned A&M's, up and down offense. I mean, they have gone under in 5 of the last 6 games, so maybe it will be a bit of a struggle for them to score today at South Carolina. USC's 0-7-1 against the spread off of a spread win. That kind of concerns me too. Otherwise, I might be in there with you. A&M is 4-0 against the spread off of a straight up loss as well. I'm going to end up taking the under. I've missed out on some big point value here, but I still am going to come in with it as a free play and go under 44.5. At 47, it was probably going to be a premium. Might have even been a premium at 46. At 44.5, going to give it out here on the show with
Cool.
A&M and South Carolina. Toya Brown, great to see you. Brandon, nice to see you here. Hey, yeah, how about that?
Should we go to Manhattan and check it out?
Yeah, we could do our show from the.
I've been to K-State Nebraska game there. I still have my purple cup.
We could do our show like a game day, right?
Yeah, that would be fun.
Central Florida and East Carolina. Central Florida 5-point favorite at open -4, so it's gone up a point. Total is 63.5. That's down from an opener of 66.
Yeah, I mean, UCF pretty much blew out Temple last game, 70-13. East Carolina beat out Memphis in a close one.
Didn't stop me from getting on Temple today, but
right, huh? But yeah, I mean, UCF, they're kind of dominating these teams here offensively. UCF 5-2 against the spread their last 7. They're just a really hot team right now. I think they're going to be able to cover this one versus East Carolina.
All right, Mindy's going to lay those points on the road with Central Florida. ECU, it's tough. They're off that 4 overtime win, right, over Memphis. So that's kind of this total is just, to me, I think it's dipped too far from that 66 down to 63.5. Man, that's really tough. I'm going to go over with my free pick in this one. Not very confident in that game at all, I'll tell you
You're
that.
getting some backup, though.
Yeah.
Airplane Boob likes the over as well. Yeah, in that Temple, I gave it away as my Tulsa Temple, right? I gave it away as my free pick, but my premium was actually on the under in that game. So I did pull off the win. I was rooting for him. I know Tony had Tulsa as one of his premiums and didn't quite make it, darn it.
Yeah, now looking back at that, yeah, that's I don't know, it just seemed like a lot of points. Let's move on again here. Minnesota and Penn State. Penn State, a 5-point favorite, opened 6.5, went down to 4.5, now back up to 5, and the total opened as high as 48.5. Now it's all the way down. It went down to 42. And now it's back up a little bit to 43. The big drop there, Mindy, is because of the Minnesota quarterback situation. Just not sure if Morgan is going to be able to make it in this one. It looks like a game time decision, so not sure we can even address that situation other than the fact that Minnesota may be using a backup.
Other than Minnesota's kind of been up and down after a really strong start. And then there's a Penn State team that's, I think has been pretty solid, pretty strong most of the season. Just depends if this is one of those spots that they'll kind of dip. It's kind of one to me that I think Penn State needs to watch out for, especially when I see a spread as low as -4.5. But Minnesota, they've lost, 2 straight now. In Penn State, they lost to a top 5 team there with Michigan. Not a real good showing there as well. I like the under still. I know it's moved. The under 6-1 in Penn State's last 7 at home. Minnesota's defense is ranked 7th in the nation still. That's kind of the only thing that was kind of making them hang in games there for a while. Penn State only gives up 20 a game. I'm gonna go under this, even though it keeps going. I'm like, wish I kind of had it at 45, but yeah. I'll take the under.
Well, it's back, like I said, it's back up to 43. So really the 48.5s were really rarely available to market, to the general market. I would think, unless we're really on it. But um, yeah, I don't know. For me, I feel very confident actually in my selection in this one. I like Penn State. I think they can uh, limit Ibrahim. Look, he's on fire right now. He's going to get 100 every game, but all they really got to do, if Minnesota does have some quarterbacking issues and become one-dimensional, the way Penn State's playing, I think that they can win this game by a touchdown. I'm going to end up taking Penn State as my play. Mindy in the on the show here. So Mindy's got the under. I've got Penn State. Kansas State and TCU. TCU 3.5 and 54.5. TCU opened 4.5, so this one's gone down. The total did open considerably higher at 59. Now we see that 54.5. It went down to 53.5, back up to 54.5. But what we have here, Mindy, are big time weather issues with wind that has really dropped this total significantly.
Yeah. Again, this is going to be another really interesting one to see how this one, works out. I have trouble, of course, always with Martinez. But if you take a look at where he's been, he's thrown exactly 0 interceptions, while at Nebraska's, 4 years, he's also averaged like 30. But again, he's only been throwing the ball about 20 times per game. And that's probably a really smart move. And look at the way that Kansas State has been just moving the ball here. Both of these teams are coming off wins. But K-State, they won, a low score against Iowa State. TCU, they're always in those shootouts there. I tend to agree with these folks here. I like K-State plus 3.5 today, even though Martinez is not my favorite, even though he's playing really good this year.
I would think you'd like him. I kind of do. I don't think he got I don't want to say a fair shake. I just think that Nebraska wasn't very good. I think when we see good Martinez, it's because he's not playing with Nebraska.
Well, Nebraska wanted to throw the ball. They wanted to be Oregon, or UCF, and that's the thing. They were playing really smart with Martinez, only letting him throw about 20 times a game. So,
well, let's take Kansas State.
They got the playbook.
Here's the thing that I see in this one, though, Mindy. I believe that this weather information is quite significant, and K-State runs the ball, right, and TCU throws the ball. So I'm going to take Kansas State here as my play, and we're going to have a consensus play with K-State. Also, take a look at that move, right? We know TCU is 6-0 straight up. They were a 4.5 point favorite. Now they're 3.5. So the move is on Kansas State. Looks pretty sharp. Let's go ahead and take Kansas State.
Consensus play.
Pittsburgh and Louisville. Louisville, 2.5 point favorite. It opened a pick. Move is definitely on Louisville here. Total is 55 and open 57.
Yeah, I am expecting Louisville. Gosh, I have a hard time. Louisville, right? Louisville.
We're gonna get email.
Louisville. Yeah, I know. Like I don't know why I have a hard time with that one. And then the Coyotes. I always want to say Coyotes because that's what we say here. And then when I read it, so I have to really work hard at these. But yeah, Pittsburgh defeated Virginia Tech in the last game, 45-29. Louisville beat Virginia 34-17. I don't know. I think Pittsburgh, they're just kind of a different team this season without, Kenny Pickett there. On the defensive side, Louisville, they're just playing better than Pittsburgh is right now, too. I think this is a close kind of pick 'em game. Again, I like the home field advantage. I like Malik Cunningham. I'm going to take Louisville here in this one, minus 2.5.
Yeah, I'm not, I guess Cunningham has a good shot to play in the game, Holland. John, nice to have you here in our chat today. So good information there because, yeah, I'm looking at it as if he does. I don't mind Bauman either if he's in there. So I'm not too worried about which quarterback. I'm more worried about Abinaconda, who is just apparently the next Tony Dorsett. which is,
I
exciting.
mean, breaking his records, I guess, right? Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean, 300 and something, right?
Yeah.
Last game. So Pitt's gone 5-1 to the over. The series has gone 2-6 to the under in the last 8, including 4 straight to the under at Louisville. But uh, Pitt also has done well in this series. But I can't get over the fact that I think Louisville is the better team here in this one. We're going to have a consensus and go with Louisville. And
Louisville.
yeah, even though we're laying 2.5, that's why it's a free for me. I might, I don't know. I was considering Louisville as a premium, as a pick,
As a pick
maybe
'em.
even at 1, 2.5. But now that you're on it, we got a premium on it technically with our
Here we go.
play. So again, if you missed the show or ever want our consensus plays, you can purchase them at tonyspicks.com. We're not going to stop you from watching the show on YouTube or listening to the podcast on all the platforms, but you're busy and Mindy and I work hard, and so if you miss them, you're able to pick up some packages. Mindy will be loading up these afternoon packages as
That's
well, and we appreciate everyone that has done just that and subscribe to the service. I guess that's what you can kind of call it.
Yeah.
Colorado.
It's bonus if you guys get in here, you get them for free. You don't
right.
have to purchase them.
No,
but yeah,
no
I mean, if
problem.
it's one day you're, you have to go out of town for work, you don't have time, you can go ahead and just select our premium picks for the day or go back and watch a rerun of the show.
Colorado and Oregon State. Oregon State, a massive favorite here at 23.5. Been a slight tick to Colorado, actually. It opened 24, and this total opened 50.5, and it's dropped to 48.
Yeah, I'm interested to hear what you're going to say about this one after. Colorado, they're 1-6 this season, got their first win last week over Cal. Oregon State 5-2, has won 2 straight in the last one versus Washington State 24-10. Colorado State, Colorado only putting up 14.5 points a game, giving up 38. So totally underwater there. Their last 4 losses were by 23, 28, 42, and 31. So again, I'm not too worried about this spread. I like Oregon State at minus 23.5. Oregon State, they're 10-1 against spread their last 11 home games. I think with home field advantage, Colorado struggling defense, I'm okay with taking that big minus 23.5.
God, yeah, I mean, that's just 23.5 points with Oregon State, but 10-1 against the spread, their last 11 at home. Oh my goodness. And they've covered 5 out of the last 7 meetings. I want to get on this with you, but I can't do it.
That's what I thought you were going to say. That's what I thought you were going to say.
I don't take Colorado anymore. I mean, I'm over it, right? I mean, they're 5-1. They're 1-5 against the spread, and I think I'm 0-3 with them. But Oregon State has been a good cover, 5-2 right now. But listen, 5 of the last 7 meetings have gone over, and CU, 5 of their last 6 on the road has gone over. Give me the over 48 as my free play. All right. Oh, pardon me. Just getting over that cold.
Are you going to make it, Ramon?
Show that I had last week when I was under the weather. Just getting
At least you are smiling more. You look like you're feeling better.
Well, you're always going to be a little happier when you're on a 1,300 unit run over the last 7 days or whatever it is. Too, so.
I think it's the Mercury retrograde. I think that was holding you down. It's over now. Look at you go.
Appreciate all my subscribers yesterday. We had a great,
That's right.
great 3 or 4 days here for sure. I want to say, I don't know, it's up there somewhere. We'll talk about it one more time. Utah State and Wyoming here. Utah State, they have, I think they might be the most injured team on the schedule today, but they're still, I don't know, interesting placed here as an underdog. Wyoming open 3.5. They're up to 4.5. And this total is up to 44. It opened 41.5.
Yeah, Utah State coming in 2-game win streak. They beat Air Force and Colorado. Wyoming won their last one against New Mexico after losing 2 in a row. Wyoming relies on that rush heavy offense. They're ranked 131st. They did beat Air Force with that second rank rushing, defense a couple games ago. Utah State, I think they kind of have the hot hand right now. I think they're going to be able to hold this rushing offense down. I'm going to take Utah State here, plus points.
All right. It just troubles me, Utah State, they might be at a third or fourth string quarterback here in this one. I think that is going to hurt them to, look, Wyoming's got taken the move, right? We know that. I really, the
Mm-hmm.
spot just screams Utah
Right.
State. All my ratings say this is Utah State spot. If I throw out the injury factor, and again, Utah State looks like they've got a laundry list of injuries, maybe more than any other team. I'm looking at with my injury report that I have, and so I just can't do it with you. If I didn't know about these injuries, maybe you know how what it is, Minnie, too. People can step up and do the job, and you get burned, and you should have done it. And again, I love the spot here for Utah State. I'm not going to hold that against you at all in taking them, especially because their strategy could be, change or whatever. But I'm just going to end up going under. I think that number is too high, and my play is going to be on the under in this one. Yeah. Appreciate seeing everybody in the chat. Gerardo, good to see you, my friend. Yep. And I've got, he mentioned that UFC. Hey, I've got a package up, everybody, if anybody wants to get on. I'll just tell you right now, it's got some chalky favorites, but take a look at my UFC record. Pretty solid. Part of my, winning over there. So if you need a 3-pack of winners, I got a 3-pack of winners for you up right now at Tony'sPicks.com for $30. All right. Washington and Cal. We've almost knocked this card out, Mindy. And
Can you believe it?
Washington 7.5, open 9.5. Pretty significant move here on Cal. Total open 55, open 57.5. Was as low as 53.5, but now we're at 55. Actually, my notes are all wrong. I'm not sure where it opened. Sorry about that. Go ahead and talk, and I'll have the information straight in just a second.
Yeah, no problem there. Washington defeated Arizona, last one, 49-39. Penix had a record-setting pass performance, 516 yards, 4 touchdowns. Been lights out other than not being able to, sweep the card here this season. I think he needs to go, pretty close to undefeated the rest of this way out if he wants to continue to stay in there in that Heisman talk. Cal had that loss to, Colorado. Washington's ranked 12th in scoring offense, put up 42 a game. Cal 23. I think the only thing that'll keep this one, maybe close is Washington's defense. I don't know. I think Washington's going to be able to cover this one. I thought pretty easily. To me, that 7.5 kind of seems a little bit, I don't know. I thought it should be more. I think it looks like more like a 10-point game here to me. So I like Washington in this spot.
Well, fair enough. I mean, then you are indeed getting the best of that number for sure. This total opened 56.5 and all had dipped all the way down to 53, and I don't see the 53.5. So my notes were just bad on this game. It looks like it's been all the way around there now. 56.5 up to 57.5, back down to this 55. So
I had 54.5 as the low I saw.
54.5 was the low. Okay. All right. Maybe I was writing down my window here on the wrong sheet. Yeah, and maybe that's where I got lost on that. Anyways, 10 of the last 12 meetings between these two have gone under. Cal 5-1 against the spread, their last 6 at home, and also Cal 1-4 to the under in their last 5 games. So for me, I'm going to go under in this one. I'm going to go under that 55. Rough number for me, but I could add 56.5 or 57. So I will go under. And all right, one more here with San Diego State going up against Nevada. And San Diego State on the road here, 7-point favorite. They opened as high as 9, and the total opened as high as 37.5, dipped down to 34.5, but now back up to 36, but still we're dealing with one of the lowest totals on the board.
Yeah, I thought it was funny because this kind of seemed like the never-ending card since we started on, Monday, and we've just kind of trickled through it here, throughout the week. So it seems like we've just covered just a ton of games. But both of these teams are coming off games against Hawaii. San Diego State beat Hawaii October 8th, 16-14. Nevada losing to Hawaii last week, 16-31. It's kind of like based on, I don't know, their last game of, who could beat Hawaii. I tend to want to pick San Diego State, but in their last 4 games, they've put up, here's their total offense, Ramon. I think you're probably aware, right? 16, 13, 17, and 7. Furthermore, San Diego State, they're 1-5 against the spread, their last 6 overall. I think they're probably going to struggle to score again here in this one. I'm going to try Nevada at home, +7.
I'm going to play Nevada on the money line probably. Let's go a consensus though, and take those 7 points, because here's what happened, Mindy. San Diego State ended up playing a safety at quarterback last game, and he just happened to throw for over 300 yards. And San Diego State doesn't throw for over 300 yards at all, but they brought in my buddy Ryan Lindley to work with the quarterbacks. They made some changes. Lindley just went to high school right here up the street, covered him for years, and now he's back here. In fact, he left his job at Mississippi State in the middle of the season here, comes back. One quarterback has quit. The other quarterback, Braxton Burmeister, the former Oregon Duck, Virginia Tech quarterback, ends up moving to wide receiver this week, and they're going to try the safety again at quarterback. Now, here's the thing. He did throw for 300 yards. He was a 3-star quarterback in high school. He eventually moved to safety because he couldn't make it as a quarterback, but all of a sudden comes in and has this great game with dink and dunk. It wasn't anything, but they were playing Hawaii.
Right.
So really, everybody's all thinking this is the greatest thing. Here, because, oh, look, our safety came in and threw for 300 yards. We're on fire. Let's take Nevada +7. Probably go under that too, but pardon me. Thank you. Great job with college football.
We made it.
Yep. And again, we have some consensus plays. Do we have time to cover them?
Sure. You want me to do it? Hawaii +6, Stanford -2.5, Texas State +2, Alabama -21, Kansas State +3.5, Louisville -2.5, and Nevada +7. Sounds like wins.
I noticed about all those consensus plays, Mindy, is they're all sides.
Oh, yeah.
Interesting. I don't know if
because we like too many totals in our other life.
Well, I don't know. Have you gotten any feeling? Have we gone more sides than totals in college football?
Perhaps only because I know, like, say for my premium picks, a lot of those are going to be on totals, and I think you're kind of lean that way too in college football.
Yeah, so, no doubt about it. No doubt about it.
So I think that's kind of why we're getting a lot more of the sides rather than the total on our free plays.
Yeah, and again, the premise of the show is to come up with consensus, but also for me playing off of it's kind of like agree or pivot. So a lot of times when you're on the total, whether we agree or disagree, I've already either decided it's a premium or loaded it up as a premium, and not going to give it out obviously free, because I would like you to subscribe to my picks too and Mindy's picks. If you don't get our consensus picks, get our
we like to get paid so we can continue to do the show.
Okay, Mindy, that wasn't bad. We really just 1 hour there in football, and maybe we can get this taken care of here, and we'll be off the air before the game starts, as Tony likes to say. So let's get right into it with pro basketball. A good night of basketball last night, from what I could tell. Well, I was doing more scoreboard watching once we got kind of into the second halves, and I had to head out to my game. But let's get right into it with one of the teams that played last night, San Antonio Spurs. Going on the road here, they're big underdogs. Let me call up the lines too, because these games, unlike the college,
moving around everywhere, probably,
where we had almost no movement, there could be some movement on some of these basketball games already. And in fact, I'm showing the Sixers now 13.5, 224.
Yeah, well, I'm going to take a look at the total. Over hit 3 of the 76ers last 4 games versus the Spurs. Since the start of the 2021 season, I'm going to take over.
Yeah, well, Philly's off to that 0-2 start. The Spurs have gone over in both their games so far, right, Mindy? So, uh, I don't know. Philly's in an interesting situation right now, and I think that's where I'm going to lean towards them just because San Antonio's off the back-to-back. The move's been on Philly. They opened 12.5, now 13.5. Wouldn't lay it with a premium right now, but Harden, what can you say? He's looked pretty good. Embiid, I don't think he just had 15 points his last outing, and I think he can have a big performance here. I'm going to take Philly and lay 13.5 as my free play, and Mindy went over in San Antonio and Philly. And again, these NBA, this is 6 p. That one's 6 p.m. The card starts 6 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Central.
That's
3%.
correct.
Thank you. Okay, and then that's the only the 6:10 Eastern games. But again, no afternoon games is the point I'm trying to make here. Pistons and the Pacers. Pistons are a 1-point favorite. Total. This one's up to 230. Mindy.
The Pistons 3-1 against the spread versus the Pacers on the road. I'm going to take the Pistons.
Okay. Wow, man, what happened? When I put those lines in, I really liked the over there. It's gone too high now. I don't know if I like that anymore. Boy, I don't know. I'm gonna have to take a pass, Mindy.
All right.
Mindy's got Detroit.
Pass.
Yeah. Look, Indy 0-2 against the spread and straight up so far. Detroit's gone over in both their games. I'm trying to see if I can get on something here with you. Series has gone 7-1 to the over. Man, that's a big move. That's too big of a move for me because I really wasn't that strong on it. I'm going to go over. I'm going to rescind my pass.
Recalculating.
Well, it's a free play. I don't want to lead anybody astray. Be careful on this one, folks. I guess would be. I mean, both teams were bad defensively last night. That's for sure. Right. For my, like I said, I mean, I was scoring what, but I mean, both of them gave up like 230, 130, 120 something, right? 127. I don't know what it was. So I'm going to go over. I'm going to respect that move. Is what I'm going to do. All right. Celtics and Magic. Celtics here now up to 8.5. Total 217.
Yeah, the under 4-1 Celtics last 5 games overall, and under 6-1 in the last 7 meetings between these two in Orlando. I will take the under.
I'm on it. I'm on it with you. Let's get our first consensus play on this NBA card. Look, Boston, that the game last night, I had the under last night, and even though it was trending over the whole game, I really was not worried because I figured once they got into crunch time that it would go under. And look, I actually, give Orlando. I know they're 0-2 against the spread. I know they, lost at Atlanta last night by 10 points, but with both teams playing on the back-to-back, I think they maybe could shock them here, at least maybe get that cover. But I think for the consensus, let's go under 217. Consensus play, Boston, Orlando under. Raptors and Heat. The Heat, they're down to 2.5. The total, 215.
Yeah, I mean, the overhit in this one, 8 out of the Heat's last 9 games against the Raptors off a loss since the start of the 2017 season. I'm going to take the over.
Yeah, I mean, I know Toronto's gone 0-2 to the under so far, but I thought, my number came a bit higher than this. I had it 218, so the fact that you're on the over, and this one comes under my range for me. I think that's going to be good enough to put me on an over with you here with Toronto and Miami. Let's have another consensus play. Toronto and Miami. Let's go over here. Miami, look, hey, for whatever reason, they're 0-2 straight up and against the spread.
Right.
So they better turn it up here at home and get this one. Let's go over. Cavs and the Bulls. Cavs here a 2-point favorite. Total has gone up to 219.5.
Well, when I was doing my numbers, I was looking at a 216.5, and I was looking to go under. So I'm going to stay there under 6-2 in the last 8 meetings between the Bulls and Cavs, under 4-1 in their last 5 in Chicago. So I like the under, especially if I'm getting another 3 points.
Yeah, definitely. Because I mean, look, what was that game last night? That last game, Cleveland lost at Toronto, and that one went 213 points. So that one would have stayed under this number. Chicago had that weird push last night
Yes,
where I
to Washington.
yeah, what was that? I
Well,
mean,
that's the thing. Is like if you got in with the Bulls, it was 2.5 by the time game started, so you won that. But we put our picks in earlier on the
yeah.
site, so you might miss out a little bit, or they probably even out over time. But yeah,
And that was a game where I, was one where I didn't put as many premiums in. I wish I would have, because, I mean, I didn't want to go too crazy as hot as I am. I mean, I'm definitely pressing a little bit to get, maybe more plays with the numbers are good. And I really liked that game under, and I kind of just, didn't put it in as a premium, and I should have. But anyways, for me, I'm going to end up. Let's see, Mindy goes under. I'm going to end up with Cleveland here. I think in this one, um, despite that loss at Toronto, I think they can come in. I've got them winning. My number was not great at 2.5, so um, it's the only thing I could do is go on the free play side here. And I will go on Cleveland. It's the slimmest of margins for
by
me.
the slimmest of margins,
Yeah. Total, I'm kind of mixed on it.
an index card of margins.
Houston and Milwaukee here. Milwaukee, big favorite. They're up to 13.
Yeah, I just like the Bucks. I don't really have too much to say. I still like them at the minus 13 here in this one today. Don't have a lot of info, but I like the Bucks.
All right. Yeah, my number, right, my window just basically says 12-14. So what would I do? My window was 12 and 14. It comes right in 13. Um, the leans to Milwaukee, but I don't want to make it a consensus with you. I don't think it's strong enough.
Right.
But I was kind of saving the total over maybe as a premium, but I'm gonna have freemium for everybody right here. I really do like the over in this game. I think that could even get as high. I think they might be able to get to the high 230s here. So I have a pretty strong play here. Houston, look, they're funny, right? They're 0-2, but 2-0 against the spread so far, and that was the one that I can't lament off of a 7-2 day losing the game where
You're like, oh, I wish I played that, right?
was
Yeah.
beating Memphis the whole time, and I ended up losing that game by half a point. So I guess I can't complain after a good day, but I will take the over in this one, 231.5. Strong play though, everybody, for me. Would have been a premium, but I want to give out a good pick here for everybody. Okay, Memphis and Dallas. Dallas 5.5 now, and the total's dropped to 219.
Yeah, Mavs, they're 19-7 against the spread, last 26 home games. Grizzlies 0-4 against the spread in their last 4 games following a straight up win. I like the Mavericks here at minus 5.5.
All right, Mindy's going to be on the Mavs, and I'm going to go under, I think, in this one. Mindy, I know Memphis has gone over in both of their contests so far. They're another one, 2-0 straight up, but 0-2 against the spread. And Dallas, they had that loss to Phoenix in that close game, but they were getting the points, if I'm not mistaken, at +4. So they ended up getting the money there. So I could see what you're getting at there. And I'm not getting the best price now at 219, but I will go under in Memphis and Dallas. So Mindy has Dallas, and I've got the under in Dallas. Thanks to everyone joining us with those comments. Latifa, nice to see you. We haven't gotten to hockey yet, Latifa, so you're fine. You're fine. We haven't gotten to the hockey yet, and I don't know if Latifa. We're gonna get to that hockey in just a minute, and I've hit 9 straight premium picks in hockey, and also doing well, especially I think with Tony on the afternoon. I think I might lost one this week, but anyways, good to see you. All right. Anyways, Mindy, here we go with the Grizzlies.
Just did that one.
Yeah.
Next.
The Thunder. They're all. Let me fix this line. It's Denver 8.5, 226. When I made the graphics, the line wasn't out.
Okay. The under 5-2 and Thunder's last 7 overall. Under 3-0-1 last 4 between these two teams, the Thunder and Nuggets. I had the under at 224, so I like getting another basket here in this one.
You like it under?
I do like it under.
Okay. Yeah, Oklahoma lost but covered that game against Minnesota, getting 11. That one went 223. I had Denver last night as a dog for one of those premium winners. They looked every bit right now that I think I don't know. I mean, I know that the sharp people, you and me and everybody watching, we know that Denver's a really good team, and this is gonna be a tough game though for them to cover coming off the back-to-back. I think here I'm gonna take Oklahoma City. I'm gonna take Oklahoma City plus the 8.5 points in this one as my free pick. I mean, what can I say? I mean, the Thunder's done, made me some money. Thunder's been good to us over the last,
Yeah,
because they're so underrated, right? Denver's awesome. Don't get me wrong. You'd think they would be a bigger favorite.
right.
All right, wrap it up with the NBA with the Clippers and the Kings. The Clippers, they're a 2.5 point favorite now. It opened as high as 5. Big move on the Kings here. Boy, that troubles me.
Yeah, I don't know what to think about it, right? So
total 223.5. That's up from 221.
Yeah, I even saw it at 220.5, and I was going to go under 4-1 in the last 5 meetings between these two. Sacramento to the under is 5-1 in the last 6 meetings versus the Clippers. So yeah, I'll take the under still and get a couple better points.
I'll do it too. Why not? I mean, if you had it there, I mean, I was thinking that 221 number was okay too. Look, both teams went under right in the opener. I had that Clippers-Lakers game as a premium under, so I think I can see these teams pretty well. And Sacramento, that loss they had to Portland, I had Portland in that one too, but that thing went under by 7 points. So
yeah, that's the free one that you gave out on the show, right?
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah, I think you gave out that under on the show. So yeah, you had a winner there.
So the under is what I had on the show. The premium was Portland.
Yeah,
love it when I got both. But let's do a consensus play here.
All right,
Clippers and Sacramento. We've got a nice card.
Yeah, so we went the Celtics Magic under 217, Raptors Heat over 215, Clippers Kings under 223.5.
A 3-pack. How convenient.
Huh.
You know what I noticed about all those premium, all those consensus?
They are totals.
All right. Latifa, you still here because we're ready to get rolling in hockey now. We're doing good. We're going to be out of here in time to make breakfast.
Yes. What's on the slate for you? I do eggs, bacon, tortilla. That's my favorite. That's my go-to.
Yeah, I like to make me a Jimmy Dean roll,
Yeah.
slice it up with the patties and make them real small and kind of burn them and dip them in ketchup. All right.
I
Uh,
am also a ketchup fan.
yeah, I'm a
Me,
freak.
Ramon, Patrick Mahomes, we're all about it.
I'm a freak when it comes to winning. All right, this is a huge hockey card. Um, I've joked with Mindy before the show. I feel good about the card. I'm really relying on my numbers. I don't have a lot of notes here, but it's going to be my analysis is going to be I've won 9 straight premium plays. Here's my pick,
Should we
and the
just let
goalies.
you give us all the picks then, Ramon?
Well,
I kind of feel like maybe we should go that route.
yeah. Well, again, I mean, I'm not going to have. I have notes on the games, but I mean they're really cryptic, and uh, not that my handicap was a rush job. I mean I went with went with my printout and looking at my window, just like I do with my
Right.
premium picks that have come through. What can I say? Hitting very, very strong right now in the NHL. So, all right, no goalies I don't think have been confirmed. So if anybody has anything in the chat, they're welcome to put it in there. Um, these are the best guesses I think. I use usually 2 or 3 different sites, and then usually use the consensus uh, of the sites. Um, I use 2 fantasy sites and then Daily Face Off and see who's, if one of them has 2 goalies listed, that's who I think the goalie will probably be, since we don't have any skating, you know, information at the time we come on this show. No goalies have been confirmed yet on Daily Face Off or on my fantasy sites. So we could just say the teams probably: San Jose and New Jersey. I'm also going to call up the odds here. San Jose and New Jersey, pretty stiff favorite here for New Jersey. They are $1.95. This one did open as low as 170. I'm showing it now up to 200 at some spots.
Yeah, but the Sharks, they're 12-4-1 against these Devils. The visiting team have won each of the last 2 games in this series. I like the Sharks here, puck line. +1.5, -105.
Okay. Fair enough. We've definitely been on the Sharks, right, a couple of times, I think, or at least I have.
Right?
Um, yeah, I don't like I don't like the price anymore on New Jersey. I mean, if anything, I would kind of lean towards that with you, but I don't want to play the Sharks right now. What is this? Their 20th straight road game right now? I don't know what it is. I'm going to go under. Really, it almost qualified for a premium at 6.5 under. So I do like it pretty strong, actually. San Jose and New Jersey to go under 6.5. Might have been a premium. I just can't get involved with the side. Want to give out a good play here on the show. Minnesota and Boston here. Boston, this has been a big mover, Mindy. Man, it's down to it's going lower than a buck. It's almost like a $1.15, opened as high as a $1.40. Big move on Minnesota here. Total 6.5, over -120 now.
Yeah, I mean, the Wild have won both games versus the Bruins in the last, series. The series is 4-2 in St. Paul, and they finally got their first win of the season there. Also, yeah, I'm going to look towards the Wild as well here, -105.
I'm down with that. This totally looks like a sharp move to me. You don't need any breakdown or analysis when it comes from me on a game like this. This one is a market mover that a lot of times explain. You can't. It's tough to explain sometimes the market handicap, but to me, the way I look at it is, we all want to be the best handicapper. I'm the best handicapper. Look, I broke it down, and I'm not as good as the whole world conglomerating together. And when I see something like this, a sharp line move like this, I usually am going to respect it. There's no doubt that Minnesota's 1-3, Boston's 4-1. The line's totally moved to Minnesota. Let's go a consensus play on Minnesota.
Consensus play.
Yeah. And that's not a steadfast rule, people. As far as friends, I want to call you people. What is this? Air Force? Look, I got this typo here. Let me fix that. Anyways, it's Arizona against Ottawa. Get that fixed, Mindy, for you. Ottawa, pretty big favorite here. They're up to 250 now, and the total is 6.5 over 20.
But yet, this is one that's like when these Coyotes play against the Maple Leafs.
It's another one just like it, yeah. And
There's
the last game,
7-1.
they got blown out.
Yeah, I mean, they're 7-1-0 versus the Senators. So I mean, I'm going to take the Coyotes plus 1.5 goals, minus 115.
All right. I'll do it too. Yeah, 1-7. You said Ottawa's record is against Arizona, right? So I have to. I mean, what's the price on it? Minus $1.25 or so.
Yeah,
that's good enough for me.
Consensus play, Ramon?
Yeah. Oh no, definitely. I mean, look, I don't think that Arizona surprised me a little bit. Obviously, they've gone 3-1 in the over. They're scoring a few goals, so why not be able to hang in here in this one, especially, like I said, that last game maybe they were on a high because they won that other game, but let's try Arizona here plus 1.5 as a consensus play.
Sounds good.
St. Louis and Edmonton. Edmonton here is $1.50. This total is 7 under 25. Yeah, it's got to be 7 under 25.
Yeah, I mean, Edmonton's won 3 of the last 4 meetings with St. Louis. Each of the last 5 meetings has been decided by 2 goals or fewer, actually. So for me, I'm going to go ahead and take the Oilers here. I'm going to take the favorite, and if it's been decided between 2 goals or fewer, I think they're going to be able to hang in there tough today.
Yeah, we're paying a little bit of a tax here, Mindy, at $1.50. But I honestly thought that Edmonton would be, I don't mind this price. I graded it a little bit. My potential line is a little bit higher. I'm not saying that, I'm calling them a $2 favorite or anything, but St. Louis, they can go through some droughts. I mean, I'm kind of concerned about that total being so high, and I'm kind of concerned that I put double parentheses on the total as well. But nonetheless, we do another. You don't mind, do you?
I think we can.
3 already in hockey, and I'm hot too. So maybe this will be our strong. Look, we just have to. We were cruising, and we had one rough day,
right?
And we're going to clean that up right now with this hockey card. I have a feeling.
Sounds good to me.
All right, the Kings are continuing this road trip. People are talking about these Kings. They're dog here though to Washington, $1.30, 6.5 under 15. That line looks right on.
Yeah, I mean, and I get the most information from you and Tony about the Kings also. But I'm going to take the Capitals in this one. They're 3-1 versus the Kings in the last 3 overall. I'm going to take the Capitals today, minus 130.
Yeah, I think the Caps can score some goals, but I think the Kings are doing a nice job offensively as well. I'm not thrilled about it. I don't think I have a premium either way in this game. So, but my lean was to the Kings. Could have had a better price. I can't get that price now. I can't get on board with Washington with it, even though that looks like the better value. I'm going to go over 6.5 as my free play in LA and Washington. Not thrilled about that game. I'm going to be watching it though.
Right.
The Islanders and Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay here. They are that price is wow. I'm going to check something here. I don't know. Is it a typo or has there been this big of a move? I'm showing Tampa Bay 125 total 6 over 20. What did you have? Any 125? Yeah.
Wow. No, I had it at minus 165, and I was going to take Tampa Bay at minus 165.
Maybe
So
I would. The only thing I can think of is that Vasilevsky's not going to be in goal. I would.
yeah,
There's no,
perhaps. I mean,
there's no doubt.
but but yeah, Lightning, they're 14-6 versus the Islanders at home last 20 games. Yeah, I like Tampa Bay. So I'm gonna stick with them.
Yeah, I don't know if I could pass at this price now. Again, I'm going to refresh. I mean, it's early yet, and again, now this game, I should have mentioned that the first two games of the card go off at 10:05, 1:05 Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific, noon Central, and then the next two games, Arizona, Ottawa, St. Louis, Edmonton, are afternoon games, 4 Eastern, 3 Central, 1 Pacific, and then the night card starts with that Kings game. But I don't think we have the goalie information. But that just looks too. Look, I know the island Sorokin is looking good. I mean, he might be right up there right now with the top goaltenders in the league, like Vasi, right? And some of these guys. So maybe that's where that move is coming in. But boy, I'm willing to side with you on this one, Mindy. I'm for the better part of I haven't been able to research since that line has moved and we're on the air here, but I'm going to save 40 cents. Let's take it. Let's take Tampa Bay. Ask questions later. Consensus play.
Consensus play.
Pittsburgh and Columbus. Pittsburgh is $1.75. Total 6.5 over 25 for sure.
Yeah, I mean, Penguins are 15-5-1 versus Blue Jackets off of a win. I'll take the Penguins minus 175.
It looks like a fair price to me. I'll jump on with you. 5. Do you mind?
No,
5
I don't care.
consensus. Well, I just, look, this is a good spot.
It's a good card. It's a good card for us. One day we're only going to have 2 plays and others we might have 7. You never know.
Yeah. Well, look, it's a good spot for Pittsburgh. I mean, it's tough to lay that kind of chalk on the road, but I don't know. I thought Pittsburgh could be a $2 favorite here in this matchup. So let's take Pittsburgh. Another consensus play. Dallas and Montreal. Dallas is $1.70 now. Total 6 under 15. The total is pretty much flip-flop from a over favoritism to under.
Yeah, I was going to look to the over. Over's hitting 3 of the last 4. I like the over here in this one.
All right, let me just update that because that is a pretty significant move. Mindy said go over, right?
Yes.
I'm going to say take Montreal. I think look, this opened as low as $1.40 or $1.45. Not sure. I don't recall. I wrote it $1.40, but my mind tells me it was $1.45. Whatever the case may be, at $1.70 now, I'm going to have to take my Habs at home and take Montreal there as my free pick, as in a home underdog.
Home underdog.
Toronto, favorite on the road here against Winnipeg. Big stiff move here. Toronto opened as low as $1.30, quickly bet up to $1.70, and this total 6.5 over 35, maybe a slight tick down.
Yeah, I mean, it's like these teams have split their last 6 meetings, combining for 114 penalty minutes, where the home team in each time won by at least 3 goals. So it's been a big disparity in scoring. But yeah, I was going to look to the under 7. Oh, it's one of those, like, I would have to re-look at it, at 6.5, but
do it.
But yeah, I like the under.
I do too. We'll just see what it is when we enter in the back end too. I mean, I like the under in this. It's 6.5. Look, if it's 6.5 over 35, we're still going to get plus money on it. And I don't mind whatever it is in the back end. I mean, I like this game to go under. I mean, I really thought it would be closer to just 6.5 over 20 or so is really what I was thinking,
Yeah.
and that's what I had estimated here on my printout. So let's do it. Another play,
All right.
another
We're doing
consensus
it.
play here. Yep. On the under, Toronto and Winnipeg.
Correct.
Boy, we might have like we might have three packs. But you're getting them all free right here on the show, folks.
That's right. Latifah's going to kill it today.
Philadelphia and Nashville. Nashville, big favorite here, up to 215, 6.5 under 20.
Well, the Flyers, they had their 3-game winning streak snapped versus Florida. But they scored a power play in all 4 of their games here this season. Predators are 0-4 for the season on their power plays. I like the Flyers at the plus money in this one.
All right. For me, I really I was hoping to get a juiced 6 in this game. You talk about reanalyzing the total. I mean, I had a premium at 6 if I could get 6 over 20, and I don't know if you can anymore. But I like the over. I'm gonna take over 6.5 as a free play in this one. I do like it over, but really was preferring a 6. I don't know if there was any. I mean, I do show in the line movement that there were some 6 openers, but I don't think I could have ever gotten them considering my. We'd like to be here and enter in these plays for you and get them right to you right when we can, and that would be an idea. And Tony's working on that. I'll tell you, he's working hard behind the scenes to make it so that we can get you the absolute best plays to you in a timely fashion. Doing an incredible job with the email and SMS, soon to be SMS notifications when we can get on these good lines and get that information to you. Really, it's unprecedented what he's doing. Okay. Mindy, I got next up Colorado and VGK. I'm gonna have I've kind of maybe I was running out of time because I don't even have this one typed in, but so we don't even have my estimated goalies in there. But it's VGK 125, 6.5 over 25.
Yeah, so Vegas, they only average 2.32 goals all time in this matchup. It's the lowest versus any Western Conference opponent out there. The Avalanche, they average about 3 goals, per game. I'm going to look to the under 6.5 here in this one.
I'm going to have to agree with you. Agree with you in this one. I mean, obviously, this is going to be. I think it's the matchup of the night, right? I mean, in the league for excitement and whatnot. And I like what you said about the lack of scoring there. Kind of like Vegas in the game. I think this is going to be. They're going to look at this as a big matchup here. So I think they could actually win the game. Maybe tip my hand a little bit there. For someone that's won 9 straight premium plays, I might like Vegas. But let's go under as a premium play with Colorado and VGK under 6.5. And actually, good price, right? Plus, maybe we might even get big plus money on that one. At least even money.
Come on.
Okay, just a couple more here. We've done a nice job here. Carolina and Calgary. We've got Frederick Anderson and, Markstrom, like I said, not confirmed. I don't even need to say these goalies here at this point. Calgary, $1.35 and 6 over 25 now.
Yeah, Hurricanes, they're 4-0-1 versus Calgary off of a loss. So I like the Hurricanes plus 110. Sorry about that.
Boy, I do too. I think they can come in and win this game. I like them on the money line here against Calgary. I'm worried about Calgary right now I don't think we're seeing the same Calgary necessarily at this point. I like Carolina. I like what we've seen from Carolina so far. I think it could be under 6. It could be under 6, but I think my preferred play here on the show is to get us another consensus play. Oh my gosh.
All right. This is going to be so amazing today.
Amazing.
Amazing.
Buffalo and Vancouver. This is the final game of the night. Vancouver $1.70 now. A little bit of a drop here, and the total pretty much 6.5 flat now.
Yeah, the overs hit in the Canucks' last 4 games versus Buffalo over the last 3 seasons. I'm going to hit the over 6.5, Ramon.
Okay. Mindy's going to take the over 6.5 in this one. And
dun dun dun. Last play of the day.
Yep, I'm going to take a pass. I can't.
You mean we had all of this lead up to a Ramon pass?
Yeah, well, hey, trying to, I got to save a few to keep my streak going. So please log on to Tony'sPicks.com and pick up my hockey package tonight.
I bet I know what you're picking on that game.
All right, well, don't give it away.
I won't.
And I don't know yet. I mean, actually, I'm not exactly sure, but I don't want to lose it. I don't want to lose my. Anyways, let's go over one more time to Tony'sPicks.com and check out what we got. Just let everybody know.
Can we do the recap real quick, though, Ramon?
Oh yes. Oh gosh.
Bunch.
On this hockey. I'm sorry.
I know folks like the recaps. So.
Yes. Well, we want to give them because I don't have to, go pick up our package. But we're gonna have some action. We're gonna have some action tonight.
It's gonna be awesome. So we have the Wild on the money line -105, Arizona +1.5 goals -115, Edmonton money line -150, Tampa Bay money line -125. Penguins on the money line -175. Toronto versus Winnipeg under 6.5 goals. Colorado Golden Knights under 6.5. And the Hurricanes at +110. Amazing work.
Okay, you got your work cut out for you there on that.
And, I know it's going to take me like 2 hours to get all these games in, Ramon.
Yeah, and the couple start here in
Who's going to be making me breakfast? I'm going to have to go right into lunch.
A little bit, so we better get out of here. Let's go over to Tony'sPicks.com. Use the promo code TonyT at checkout to save 20% off all premium pick packages. Mindy, what do you have again over there today?
So I'm in. So I got a 3-pack in NHL, 3-pack NBA. I do have. I'm in on both baseball games. Also have. I think I'm at about 15 college football, so quite a few. So I think you can find anything that you like over at Tony's Picks under Mindy's all capper tab. Like I said, there's quite a few plays, and you can break them out via time frame or however you wish there. But yeah, I've been on a good streak myself. Not quite as good as Ramon, but I am positive in everything except for like college football. And we're getting back on that today.
Yeah, we're going to clean that up for sure. And have a great day. We're going to be back tomorrow with more NFL action. We will wrap up the card tomorrow, and also Major League Baseball and hockey and basketball, I'm sure. So let's get out of here so we can get to work and get everybody the plays. Appreciate everyone joining us in the chat today. So happy to see those numbers today. The show. I think we set a record on that Thursday show with the number of views. So
and
thanks to everybody.
So we appreciate that.
It might not be a record, but I know it was just more. It was like 100 more than we had been averaging. So really, everyone came and piled in that Thursday show. And if you add those up with so Matt, Latif, John, great to see you in there as well. Gerardo was here. Airplane Boop. Brandon was here today as well. Toya Brown was here. And Blake. So I think we got everybody in. mention there, and crush. So, all right. Thanks a lot, Mindy. Great job. We did it in under 2 hours. Good to see everybody.
Barely.
Thanks. Yep.
My dog is so worn out from all of our talking.
Yeah. Put him right to sleep. Put me right to sleep, but not
I
your
know
fault.
it's almost time for you to maybe get some rest.
Well, usually depends. Usually I just make it to the SEC game, and then once somebody starts blowing somebody out, I'm
Then,
out.
then it's nap
And
time
then
on
I'm
the
out until
futon.
then I'm out for at least until the early evening games, early in the first half or so. All right. Thanks a
Cool.
lot. Catch you tomorrow with more
All
morning
right.
steam.
Bye-bye.